We really need to finish this PvP guide.
Then get up and let me work. Don't look at me like that. Get up, grab your coffee, and go be somewhere else.
Fine. What's this? Elemental Shaman PvP guide? Yeah, we don't need this. What we really need for this guide is to focus on talents, PvP talents, legendaries, covenants, soulbinds, conduits, and stat priority. But before we get started, a big shout out for SquadOV, an app that automatically records users, World of Warcraft raids, dungeons, and arena matches with all the information they could possibly want. It enables users to swap between POVs of their friends and also share their matches and clips instantly. You have access to full stats and spell visualizations. Your gameplay is automatically recorded and uploaded so you can share it instantly. Cloud storage is optional, as you can also record on your local hard drive. SquadOV also supports other games such as Valorant, League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, Hearthstone, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. Try it with your teammates, it's absolutely free. Once again, big thanks to SquadOV for sponsoring today's video, link in the description below. Now moving on with our PvP guide, your default talent tree should look like this. Echo of the Elements, Echoing Shock, Earth Shield, Master of the Elements, Nature's Guardian, Primal Elementalist, and Stormkeeper. Obviously, there are a few options depending on the situations. Earth and Rage when you need to kite a lot and need some extra pressure, since you will always be on the move. You will mostly rely on Lava Surge procs for instant lava bursts. Aftershock is my personal choice, as it can provide a big RNG burst with Lava Burst into Earth Shock, into another Lava Burst, into a second Earth Shock. You could argue that Echoing Shock is better for setups, but keep in mind that you will not get full value from Master of the Elements with Echoing Shock. Spirit Wolf is a decent option if you find yourself being trained constantly. Do not pick this talent if you're already playing with Earth Shield Legendary, obviously. Ancestral Guidance can be used instead of Nature's Guardian when fighting against Ventier Priest, as it won't backfire from the use of Mind Games. Everything else stays the same. Moving on to PvP talents, we don't have that many options, as some of these talents are just mandatory. Lightning Lasso is mandatory. Control of Lava, again mandatory, unless you're playing against double DPS like Rogue Mage. Grounding Totem is also mandatory in 90% of situations. Fourth option is Static Field Totem. It's very good against melee, and you can replace Grounding Totem with this one if you think you won't need Grounding Totem. If you're fighting, for example, Rogue Mage, you can play with Lasso, Grounding, and Static Field. At least that's how I do it. In this patch we have two legendary options, both of them very strong in their own way. If you're playing with a healer, you should pick Skybreaker's Fiery Demise, which now scales very well with Control of Lava at PvP talent and provides you with insane pressure. If you're playing double DPS or you feel you need more healing in 3v3, Earth and Harmony is your best option, as it will make your team very tanky. Feel free to test other legendaries, but right now these are the best options. Once we get to stat priority, you will understand why. For Covenants, nothing changed overall. Necrolord is still your best option, with Fleshcraft being very strong and Primordial Wave giving you additional ways to apply Flame Shock. And of course your best Soulbind is still Plague Divisor Marileth, mostly because of Ultimate Form, Viscous Trail, and Kevin's Oozling. Kevin is OP. Best conduits are Vital Accretion, Totemic Surge, Call of Flame, Embrace of Earth, Tumbling Waves, and Condensed Animasphere. You can replace Embrace of Earth with Swirling Currents if you're not playing with the Earth Shield legendary. Some shamans also prefer Thunderous Pose instead of Totemic Surge, but that's mostly a personal choice. Everything else, in my opinion, is mandatory. As for arena compositions, you can obviously play with any healer and make the comp work. However, from my experience, Resto Druids, Holy Priests and Holy Paladins are best for Elemental Shamans. Keep in mind that Elemental Shamans are very tanky and you need patience, lots of it. Most games will end in dampening unless the enemy team makes dumb mistakes. If you want faster and more interesting games, you can try double DPS compositions. Among my personal favorite are Shadow Priest Elemental, Feral Druid Elemental, Retribution Paladin Elemental, Arms Warrior Elemental, and to a lesser extent Destruction Warlock Elemental. Just remember you need Earth and Harmony Legendary. For 3v3 there are a lot more options and I'm not going to name them all, but among the best DPS that stack very well with Shamans are Shadow Priest, Fire Mage, Arms Warrior and Affliction Warlock. Moving on to the last section of this guide, stat priority, things get very simple here. Stack versatility wherever you can. Following that you need 3 to 4% haste to reduce your GCD to 1.4 seconds down from 1.5 seconds. That's a very small and efficient investment since you don't have critical strike in every PvP slot anyway. After that just stack critical strike. Make sure you don't enchant or gem for it. What you get from gear is enough. Critical strike scales very well with elemental shamans and that's why I consider it to be better than haste. We have better critical strike bonuses and abilities like Earth Shield greatly benefit from that. FYI, I've seen 12 to 13k critical kills from Earth Shield on my shaman. That's a lot. So overall, regardless of which legendary you choose to play with, crit is very strong.
Why is it taking so long?
Unbelievable. I guess that's the end of this PvP guide. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share and subscribe to support the channel. Also check the squad OV link in the description below. Leave a comment with any suggestions or questions. I am always happy to help. Thank you all for watching. See you later.